bringing your cup of love to someone out. It's like you want to learn how to be a person that dates. You're going to wonder what their ulterior motives are. To learn how to do this whole relationship. Hello there, Aries. Michele B here. It's time for your 6-month ahead reading because we're already halfway through 2021. I feel like this reading is leaning way more toward people that are not in relationships. Just want to get that out right away. Like if you're totally happy in your relationship that you have with someone, just ignore this and just move on to a different reading. The way that everything came out when I pulled the cards for it, it's like this is definitely for someone who's just starting out fresh from a breakup or just getting ready to start getting out on the dating scene. Because the theme that came up was Page of Cups, bringing your cup of love to someone, like being new and fresh and young and innocent and naive when it comes to love. That's the theme. Finding people to connect with. Yeah, so you're just starting out fresh. Maybe you just set up your dating profile. You're just starting to get to know people and you're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Because what to embrace, Aries, we got the Star in reverse. I'm done with resting and doing things all by myself. I'm ready to start getting to know people. I'm ready to start getting social. I'm ready to start getting out there and cutting my teeth. This is the way I feel it's coming out. It's like you want to learn how to be a person that dates. Okay? That's the big theme. Like no matter what else is going on in your life for the next 6 months, the main thing that you're going to be focused on is that. So what to leave behind, we got the Lovers. And for me, I feel that this represents you deciding that it doesn't have to be so hard to be in connection with other people. Perhaps you had challenging relationships in the past where there was a lot of struggle and strife and worry and things didn't work out the way that you wanted them to. The Lovers is all about people learning more about themselves in reflection with the other. Leaving behind the idea that it always has to be hard. And you're accepting that sometimes it might be challenging, but you can work through it. So now let's look at some challenges that could be coming up in the next 6 months. Some ex-partners are still coming around and there's still conflict between them. It's like after a breakup, the Tower's here for after a breakup, and then it's like who gets what, how you're going to divvy up your stuff, and it's just like this like arguing back and forth. I mean, you still love each other. You still think about each other all the time. And it's really hard, but you know that it's over. So, but it's just something that kind of drags out for a while. You think about them at night when you're trying to rest, and a lot of it is rehashing the old stuff. That it's traumatic. Breaking up is a traumatic process. No matter how good people are, they can be at their worst in a breakup. It's a matter of doing everything you can to not think about it, and so that you reset your mind. Do the affirmations. I'm safe now. Everything's okay now. I'm rebuilding my life now. I am not the same person now as I was then. It's hard, I know. But you can get through this, and with time, everything is healed. Page of Cups. The 7 of the Page of Cups, remember we had that in the theme, right? But this Page of Cups is reversed. And then we got the 7 of Swords and we got the Sun in reverse. So there's going to be some times you're going to be getting out there in the dating scene. You're going to be getting to know people. You might even have your eye on a couple or one particular person that you're really interested in spending some time with. And there's going to be some times when you're going to wonder what their ulterior motives are when you're getting to know these new people. I know what it's like being out on the dating scene, having a dating profile. It's like I start texting with these people and I'm like, what the hell do you want? Because like you ask somebody, what do you want? Oh, I just want to get to know people. I don't know. On one hand, they're like, I don't want to be serious. On the other hand, they will be serious in an instant for the right person. It just never seems to be me. You're going to be wondering whether or not it's even worth it when once you get into it. It's gonna start getting exhausting. I'm going to crack my window again because the sun's shining on me again. One side of the bay is sunny and the back side of the bay is really cloudy, which is really interesting. Yeah, you're going to wonder whether or not it's worth it. It is, even if being out on the dating scene doesn't lead to some life partner eventually, it's going to teach you so much about yourself. What I enjoyed about dating was that I got to learn about stuff that was happening in the world that I didn't know about, because whenever you get to know strangers, even if it's under the premise of dating, you get to experience little facets of life that you would not be able to otherwise. Now, the last set that I have here is about challenges. It's not like you're not going to have enough money. It's that you're wondering how to get more. When you're out there getting to know new people, you're going to be reflecting your income off of other people's income, and it's going to make you feel like you're falling short. It's going to make you feel like you're not making enough money compared to other people. We immediately size ourselves up compared to other people. And this is one of the things that's so humiliating and challenging about dating, is that you're sizing each other up. And so that's going to leave you feeling like, maybe I just don't make enough money. If I made more money, maybe I'd be more interesting to people. If I was doing more with my life somehow. No, honey, you are enough exactly how you are. And what you're looking for is someone who is compatible with you as you are. You don't need to be changing who you are for anybody else. That's a hard thing to keep in mind, I know. So the download that I'm getting is that, yeah, there is more money for you. You can have more money if you want to. That, like, perhaps you're reflecting off of these people and seeing how much money they make and the kinds of interesting things that they do for a living. It's got you wondering, could I be doing something more interesting? And it's kind of sparked some interest. Perhaps this has to do with who is possible for you to be dating, who is possible for you to be hanging out with. So if there's somebody that you're really interested in, a higher class, social class than you, and you're like, oh, I can't date that person. You're interested in them, but you're like, oh, I can't date that person because I'm not good enough for them. Perhaps if I just was more successful, then I could attract somebody like that into my life. The cards want you to know that you are already enough, that you are successful enough to attract whatever it is that you're interested in, but just try to have fun with it. Try to have fun with the whole process instead of being so hard on yourself. This right here, this feeling like I'm not good enough, that's a fun killer. And that's what dating is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to be an opportunity to get to know yourself and other people at the same time. So don't trap yourself. Your money, your abundance and prosperity. So like I said before, with this setup, there are going to be times when you feel like you're going to have to prove yourself. Like, I feel like everything is pretty stable for you economically right now, but you're like, maybe I could do better, because you're such a competitive person. You're like, maybe I could do better. Maybe I could prove to the people that I'm trying to impress that I am actually better than what my station looks like. So there's some of that's going to be going on. So you might be striving harder to make more money in that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you love what you're doing. Are you going to love it? I don't see any love and excitement in all of that. I don't see pleasure and joy. Remember that in order to attract money to us, the work that we do has to be pleasurable and joyful. If it isn't pleasurable and joyful, and we're not interested in looking for more work, then we must find a way to make our work pleasurable and joyful. But this is what I've got here. I got the 7 of Wands, which is like fight, 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 work, 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 right? Don't concern yourself so much with how much you make. Concern yourself much more with how much fun you're having when you're doing it. When you have fun, the income automatically is going to increase if you love the work that you're doing. How can you make your work more fun? Love life. Here we go. You are celebrating and enjoying yourself. Okay, so there ultimately, even though there are going to be challenges in the dating scene, ultimately, you're going to be having fun. There is going to be quite a bit of libation. Be careful about how much you drink. Because dating these days seems to be a lot about drinking. So be careful about how much you drink. But otherwise, just try to make it as fun as possible. If you balance trying to be in a relationship with having fun with your friends, this card is about celebrating with your friends, okay? If you balance it with celebrating with your friends, the likelihood of you being completely satisfied is going to be much higher. And the likelihood of you meeting someone when you're hanging out with your friends increases too, because they see you having fun. They see you in your element. They see you not caring because you're just having fun, right? For those of you who are, oh yeah, and I have this one too, Page of Pentacles. It was in the reverse. It's scary to learn how to do this whole relationship thing, to learn how to do this whole dating thing. It's scary, but you are an apprentice. You are a learner. It's one step at a time. Muddle through it. Have some humility and allow yourself to be teachable. For those of you who are looking for love, trying to be in a relationship in particular, the Lovers came back up. Remember, we had the Lovers when we're talking about what to leave behind. You're finding out that there's no such thing as not having challenges. There's going to be challenges. Like I said at the very beginning, your approach has to be, there are going to be challenges no matter what. What matters is how we handle them. Okay? And for those of you who are coupled, and like I said, most of the reading was about dating, but perhaps you could spin it toward, like you're courting work, or you're courting your success, you're courting your soul purpose. We had the World come up in reverse, and perhaps this has to do with breakups. It could have to do with breakups. It's the ending of a cycle, essentially. With it being in reverse, it's alluding to that cycle dragging out a little bit longer than you expected to. So I'll let you take it as however you need to take it. However you heard these messages, if this reading resonated with you, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for being with me today, Aries. I hope that this reading did a lot for you, and I will see you soon. In the description box below, you'll find a link to my Instagram, and you'll find the email for private tarot readings if you're interested in getting a reading all by yourself. And I love you. Make sure you subscribe so you stay in the loop. See you later.